All right, so let's do this. Let's head to Mepe. This came in because of the conversation I had with Elton. Let's head to Mepe. Quite a lot has happened there in recent times. I've heard talk about the desire for water and some other reliefs that had been planned. But you have been doing quite a good job there. You even put up this facility. I want our viewers to watch this video footage, after which we'll come back into the studio and interrogate what it took to get to this level.
We want people who can also support them also to support us.
So now that the FD has taken it upon himself to put up that big structure, which will accommodate 300 people.
All right, so that is the work that has been done, and you saw parts of, I believe that was the second housing project that you had put out there. Yes. Housing, going to house about 300.
300, yes.
Have people moved in?
Yes, they have. And for this one, we prioritized the aged, the fiscally challenged, and then we continued with the focus on single mothers. The first one was purely for single mothers and their children. This one, we're bringing in the aged and the physically challenged. As you do know, yes.
You mentioned the third group, the aged, physically challenged.
And then single mothers.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So we have a dire humanitarian crisis on our hands. As we speak, 5 months down the lane, since the spillage from the Akosombo Dams on the 15th of September, you have our compatriots, our fellow Ghanaians living in tents. According to NADMO, in North Town alone, 12,633 people were displaced. 1,540 homes were totally damaged. And so even though the water levels have receded, the people whose homes were destroyed have nowhere to go to. And they have to remain in congested classrooms. They have to remain in tents provided by benevolent organizations. And so we took it upon ourselves that if we don't act fast, very soon the rains will be upon us. And these tents, even though we appreciate that they have helped to at least, offer some succor, you cannot count on the tents to protect people fully when the rainy season starts in a few weeks from now. And that's why we've been working expeditiously. You notice that this project, we executed it in 7 weeks. 7 weeks. And this is an enhanced design where it's disability friendly. We added kitchens, we added TV rooms, we added storerooms to the bedrooms. So if you look at the design, we have a large bedroom for families, households. And then when you come out of the bedroom, you have shared facilities. So you have a shared kitchen, you have shared storerooms, you have shared TV rooms and meeting rooms. So it's a very communal, living. We delivered this in 7 weeks, and I want to take a moment to thank all of those who came to our aid. I'll go through the list quickly. Togbi Kosi Nego of MEPE donated the land. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, my good self, I came up with 30% of the donations, or if you like, the cost of the project. The Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, the current Speaker, Right Honorable Edward Doa Jaho, the former Speaker, Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Arabai Saba Tokono, the Chief Justice of Ghana, very generous. She came there to present donations from all the judges and the Judicial Service of Ghana, Professor Nana Jenopoku Ajiman, Sheikh Dr. Osman Nuhu Sharabutu, the National Chief Imam. And the National Chief Imam was the first to donate to this project, 70,000 Ghana cedis. And that is why we have named a whole block after the National Chief Imam for his really inspiring example. Togbi Apede the 14th, the Christian Council of Ghana, Reverend Sudada Anaba Ministries, Davida Rufin, Ghanaian staff of the United Nations. All the Ghanaians in the United Nations came together to contribute. The University of Ghana Business School, lecturers of Whole Technical University, Mr. Eric Sedi Kutoche, the Executive Chairman of the First Sky Group, Mr. and Mrs. Ruben Chachu Adoko. Goyle PLC, the famous brand, they also contributed. St. George's Security Services, Madam Florence Enin, Mr. Felix Ado, Mark Ruben Kuba, lawyer Jesse Jacinto, Hanifa Yaya, Mohammed Isa, Mr. Prosper Game, Mr. Nashiruddin Tahir, NDC New Jersey chapter, the Big Brothers Club of the Electricity Company of Ghana, Mr. Prosper Lechu, Rosa Foundation, the Central Group, Sweat Must Drop Youth Association, Bato, Stephen Inshurao, Datafew and Friends, Regulus Investment and Financial Services Limited, Just Wealth Limited, the Esbekans Association, who are Ghanaian professionals trained in Cuba, Kalovan Foundation, and then, of course, my dear wife, who I have to greet this morning and wish a happy Valentine. So this is the list, and you see that it's quite comprehensive. What we did in Northtown is that we set up the Accountability Elders Council. So every donation that comes in, it goes to the council. They open an account, a GCB account in Sogakope. They are the signatories. I am not a signatory. I stay away from all financial matters. Just to build confidence.
Who are the signatories?
The Accountability Elders Council. Chaired by,
who are there?
So it's chaired by Professor Emmanuel Neche Afedo, who is a very prominent son from Northtown. He also has expertise in disaster management. He worked in Denmark for many years, but he's retired now. So he chairs the council, and we have the chiefs there. So Togbi Azagba is a secretary and also a signatory. He is the warlord of MEPE in terms of his role within the chieftaincy authority.
So it appears you have quite a system.
So we have a system. So every donation that comes in, it goes to the council. They lodge into the account, and then that's how we have managed.
I have some quick questions for you. So the Accountability Elders Committee, you mentioned quite a list here. Your own self, you contributed 30%. Former President Mahama, the Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin, Doa Jaho, former Speaker, Chief Justice Tokonu, Professor Opoku Ajiman, the Chief Imam, 70,000, Togbe Afede, the 14th, Ghanaians in the UN, UGBS, Goyle. It goes on and on, right?
Yes.
I'd just like to find out from you, though, what's the total cost of the project?
So the total cost is 2.5 million Ghana cedis for this second one. 2.5
million Ghana
cedis.
Yes, that's for the second phase.
The second project we did. The first one, which was sponsored by the First Sky Group, they inform us that that's 1.2 million because if you notice, theirs is quite basic. This time we enhanced the design. Okay. We added kitchens, we added storerooms, we added TV rooms. So you can understand that this one will cost a bit more than the first one. And it's interesting what 2.5 million.
So when you say 2.5 million, you're talking of cedis, right?
Yes, cedis.
Ghana cedis.
Ghana cedis. It's interesting to see what 2.5 million Ghana cedis can achieve for 300 people to get them respite, to have roofs over their heads. Because, look, we have to ask ourselves as a country, is it really acceptable that 5 months down the lane, these people have done nothing to deserve this, committed no crimes? According to VRA, if they didn't spill, the dam will break. We will all not have electricity.
I mean, we've been there and done that. We are moving forward in terms of...
Yes, so...
Do you feel not enough has been done from the people of Mefe?
Yes, I think that government has been too lethargic. They've been too slow. I mean, if we don't receive taxes from the people,
right,
and yet we've been able to do this, benevolent Ghanaians.
But the president gave you that assurance. He said that maybe you may not vote for him all the time, but he gave you the assurance that he would do what has to be done. And they've done something.
Yes,
NADMO has done something.
So first of all, the president
there have been lots of donations.
The president should not have been talking about votes. What matters is that we are all Ghanaians, we all pay taxes. It shouldn't matter. And he repeated that when he met the Ekumfi people. He should stop saying those things. All of us are Ghanaians. When elections are over, they are over. Look, as MP, executing this mandate, I didn't get 100%.
Right.
It's not really possible. I don't know of any politician who's got 100%. But in carrying out all these interventions, whether it's the scholarships are provided, whether it's the rent for 167 teachers, whether it's the renovations, whether it's the school bags, the school shoes, the school uniforms, we are not asking anybody for party cards. We don't care how you vote.
Which should be the case.
That is how
there are no political colorations, no political things.
At all. So we want to see the government, rise up to its obligations. They must wake up and really come to the assistance of our people. Yes, we are helping, but there's still many people who remain in the tents. And
how many people are in tents right now?
It's a scar.
How many people are in tents?
About 2,500 people. If you look at those in Mefe Degome, if you look at those living in Agbetipo, if you add those at the Bato DA camp, those at the Dofwadi Dome camp, those at the Fojoku camp, the Alabonu camp, you put all of this together, you're talking about 2,500 people. 2,500
people. So another 2,500 people still need proper shelter. They are in tents. Yes. We saw some of the tents, and now they need proper shelters.
Yes.
2,500 people.
Yes, they have to be resettled. And later we must have a discussion about compensation, because they've lost their farms, they've lost their livelihoods, they lost their properties. I mean, we must.
Is that a conversation as MP you started?
Yes.
You started that conversation?
Yes.
Whom have you spoken to?
I've made statements on the floor. When the finance minister visited us at the peak of the disaster, before our chiefs and the media, I made a point clearly that we will expect resettlement and compensation. It's a matter of right. It is only fair. I repeated same when the Minister of Education visited us. I have filed questions in Parliament about this matter. So what has to be done by a member of Parliament in terms of leading the advocacy, in terms of reminding government of its obligations under the Constitution, I keep doing that.
Okay, so let's break apart a bit of the project. I want some further clarity. The first project, the first facility.
Yes.
Did you contribute towards that?
Yes. So that was a beautiful partnership. So the chiefs provided land, the Aveime chiefs. Then First Sky Group provides the fiscal structure. So I then come in with the furnishing. I provided the beds and the funds. And then I'm supporting them with their light bills.
Okay, so First Sky put up the edifice. The chiefs provided the land.
Yes.
You provided furniture and fans.
Yes, and then light bills.
Light bills.
Yeah, the assurance to the occupants.
All right. How much did all of this cost you?
So
furniture, fans,
fans. That should be running into about 200,000 cedis.
200,000 cedis.
Yeah.
All right, and not to talk about the light bills, and that will fluctuate. So
yes,
we will not necessarily get into that. But so let's say that your contribution for the first project was 200,000 Ghana cedis. You said that for the second project you contributed 30%.
Yes.
30% of 2.5 million is 750,000 Ghana cedis, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so with all of these sums of money, How do you manage? How did you manage to take care of all of this? 750,000, almost. So if you put them together, 950,000, almost 1 million Ghana.
Yes. So what you need to recognize is that for the support from the MP's office, we do have the MP's Common Fund that comes in. So you put that in the mix. And then for the second project, the Accountability Elders Council, they announced that I had guaranteed a facility which we raised. And we are hoping that as and when donations come in, we can retire the facility. So it's a lot of creativity. You have to raise a facility when you have to. You need to use the MP's Common Fund if you have to. You have to talk to friends and well-wishers when you have to. Because, you see, sitting idle cannot be an option. I mean, if you look at the traumatic situation, what people are going through, I mean, you have 80-year-olds, 90-year-olds, you know, they don't deserve to live under these conditions. And as a local leader, you can't, you know, throw your hands in despair. You have to make an effort, and that's what we're doing. So
how much of this came out of your MP's Common Fund?
So I'd say about 20%, 25%.
So 20% of 1 million would give you about 200,000. I mean, it's 950,000, not 1 million. So that may give you about 185,000, 190,000.
Yeah.
And the rest came out of your pocket?
No, the rest, I said we raise a facility with the accountability.
No, I mean of the 950,000. So if 20% came out of your common fund, then the rest came out of your pocket?
Yes, raising a facility that we hope to retire as more donations come in, because we have to.
I just want clarity on that. It came out of your pocket. So about 750,000 came out.
No, when you raise
Okudzeto Ablakwa's
when you raise a facility, it's not from your pocket.
No, you're not getting my point. Let's break it down.
Yeah.
You said that this is a 100% project, right? Mm-hmm. The entire sum is 2.5 million Ghana cedis. You said you contributed 30%.
Yes.
Out of the 30%, which is about 750,000 cedis. Mm-hmm. And mind you, for the first project, you had spoken about furniture, fans. Mm-hmm. We've not even added electricity. Mm-hmm. That's another 200,000, right? Which gives you a total of 950,000, almost 1 million Ghana cedis, 50,000 shy. I'm just saying, and you said that out of this, 20% came from your common fund, which is about 185,000, 190,000. Mm-hmm. So it means the rest of the about 750,000 came from your pocket, right? Because that was your personal contribution.
You raise a facility, you go for a loan, which the Professor Nature Fedo-led council is aware, and they announced that at the launch. If you talk to your colleagues who were at the event, and we're hoping to retire that as more donations come in. So it's not personal pockets. But
you went for a loan?
Exactly.
You took a loan?
Yes.
To do this?
Yes.
So who's repaying the loan?
You're not listening to me. I say that as donations come in, then we retire it.
Okay, so the loan was taken by the group.
Exactly.
So that as funds come in,
then we retire
you defray the debt.
Exactly.
So it didn't come from your pocket?
Which was announced. Yes, no, not from my pocket. That's why I said we raised the facility.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's look at this. So eventually, in terms of retiring the loan or retiring the facility, when all of this is said and done, and the people have been relocated, this will be the final bit on MEPE.
Yeah.
When the people have been relocated, what happens to the facility? Are you going to turn it into a school, a hospital? I'm just thinking, what do you do then with the facility?
So, brilliant question. We announced at the commissioning that the plan now is to turn those two facilities, and if we do build more, we don't have a tertiary institution in the entire Ton enclave, not North Ton, not Central Ton, not South. None. No tertiary, no nursing training college, no college of education for our teachers, no university. So after secondary school, everybody has to leave town. You know, so the plan is that we will use these facilities as the fulcrum. Fortunately, we have fantastic facilities like the Bator Catholic Hospital, where you can have clinicals. If you set up a nursing school, they can go there for their practicals. So the plan now, and we've told them, and actually very soon our lawyers will be done with the agreements they will be signing, because we don't want any litigations soon. We want to give people about 3 to 4 years of grace period to live in there, hoping that by that time, government's resettlement projects will be completed, hopefully. Then they move into their own resettled homes, final evacuation. Then these buildings can serve as the structures that we can use for a nursing training institute.
Okay.
So that the Bator Catholic Hospital, which is really renowned in terms of its services. I mean, if you talk to a lot of the practitioners, gynecology, for example, pediatrics.
I know a lot of people go there. I don't know about now, but for fibroid surgeries, I know a lot of people from Accra.
Yes, Dr. Tuguba and his colleagues, fantastic doctors. I mean, people always speak excellently about them. You know, so we are hoping that having that advantage, we can leverage on that with these facilities that we are building to serve as the first tertiary institution for that enclave, a nursing training institute. So that's the vision moving forward when hopefully we are fully out of the woods.
Okay.